Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to part 17 of What If Midoriya Got One for All early. If you haven't seen any of the previous parts, there'll be a link in the description below and annotation above where you can see them all, as this series isn't on my channel. Quick note that this video was done in collaboration with both Anime Royalty and We the Celestials, two YouTube channels I have written for in the past. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to hit that like button. If you happen to be new around here, please subscribe. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. In the previous episode, the siege of the League of Villains on the training camp continued. Midoriya managed to put together bits of a plan to defeat an out-of-control Dark Shadow, while at the other side of camp, Bakugo and the group of remedial core students escaped Shigaraki's rage, thanks to Shinso's mind control. A couple of minutes ago, in a small clearing in the forest, Todoroki, Tokoyami, Zero, Kosei Tsubaraba, and Midoriya talk strategy. Zero says, okay, so then what's the plan again? Midoriya says, we don't know where any of the League members are. We do know they destroyed the main camp building, that one of them is creating the fire in the forest, and that they are responsible for the gas attack. We also know that they are likely after Bakugo because he betrayed their organization, and knowing what we know about Shigaraki, they are probably after me as well. Tokoyami says, yes, but what is our strategy? We have no way of defeating them. Midoriya says, not true. If we band together, we do stand a chance. Plan should be to gather as many students and heroes that are around. We fought them off once, so we can do it again. Todoroki says, but last time we lost All Might. Midoriya says, true, but this time we're more prepared. Actually, I have an idea. Yorozu can make anything as long as she knows the composition and has a mental image, right? Todoroki says, yes, that I know of. Midoriya says, okay guys, we go around in different directions. I'm looking for Yorozu, I have something I need her to make. The rest of you go around in different directions and gather as many of us as you can. We'll meet back here in 15 minutes. Everyone nods and they go their separate ways. Back in the present, Midoriya just saved Yorozu and Awase from one of the Nomu. Yorozu looks at the paper while making the items Midoriya asked for. Awase asks, wait, you want to fight them? Midoriya says, it's our only chance. We can't just stand by and let them kill us. We have permission to fight, so let's use it. Awase says, are you crazy? We will die. Not even All Might survived when he fought them. Midoriya clenches his fist, but after taking a breath, lets go. He calmly says, if you want to run, that's perfectly fine, but I am fighting. It's our only chance to survive. Yorozu finishes making the items Midoriya asked for and says, I'm done, Midoriya. And Awase, Midoriya's right, we need to fight. We have a better chance together than separated. That's why last time they scattered us. Yorozu tries to get up to give Midoriya the items she just made, but she collapses onto the floor. Awase catches her, and Midoriya says, are you alright, Yorozu? Yorozu says, perfectly fine. I just used up a lot of the lipids in my body making this, so I don't have enough energy to stand up. Midoriya turns to Awase and says, forget what I said. Keep her safe and get as far away from camp as you can. That's how you can be a hero today. So Awase says, right. Awase grabs Yorozu and starts running away. In another part of the forest, Aizawa steps out of some trees limping a bit, with one of his arms being burned. Behind him are Twice and Dabi, unconscious and tied to a tree, using some of Aizawa's binding cloth. Aizawa says, he was a lot harder to defeat than I thought he would be. Aizawa starts walking a bit and sees his students running away from the camp. He runs after them, catching up with them, and asks, what's going on? A giant foot can be heard in the background stepping on the ground, and Shinso says, Mr. Aizawa, we're being chased by the League of Villains leader and one of his lackeys, the giant one, who is now following us. Aizawa asks, where's the Vlad King? He was supposed to keep you guys safe. Monoma, as they run, looks down on the floor, and a couple of tears come down his face. Aizawa says, I see. He died an honorable death then. The students and Aizawa keep running when on the way they cross paths with Todoroki. Todoroki sees the giant and reflexively shoots a massive ice attack, the biggest he has ever done, piercing Gigantomachia's side and stopping him in his path, making him bleed a little. Todoroki is now covered in ice, although it slowly disappears as he uses his fire side to balance his temperature out. He says, we don't have much time here. It will only block him for a minute at most. Follow me. Todoroki starts running back towards the clearing and the others follow him. Aizawa asks, where are we going, Todoroki? Todoroki answers, back to the clearing. Midoriya told us to meet him back there. Aizawa says, so you have a strategy. What is it? Todoroki says, I don't know. Midoriya didn't fully tell us. Speed was of the essence. He told us to gather the troops. Bakugo says, well, that's a helpful message. Still, he is right. If two of us manage to defeat the old leader of their organization, then if we band together, then we should be able to defeat the League. Shinso says, we shouldn't be underestimating the League. They did manage to get All Might, right? Kaminari says, they did. Bakugo says, I trust Midoriya. I think we can win here. Gigantomachia breaks through the ice and resumes his pursuit of the students. In another part of the forest, Tetsutetsu and Kendo manage to defeat Mustard after a lot of struggling by hitting him in the head with enough force. When they do, the gas that was around them starts to dissipate until there is no more around. Tetsutetsu says, we did it! Kendo takes off the gas mask she had on that was made earlier by Yaoyorozu. Kendo says, yes, we did. Are you okay though? I mean, you just got shot in the face. Tetsutetsu says, I'm fine. I took plenty of iron this morning. I can keep going for a bit more. Kosei Tsubuara then rushes out of the bushes out of breath. Kosei says, great, I thought I heard your voices. Kendo asks, are you okay, Kosei? Just fine, just a bit out of breath, he says. Kosei looks around and sees an unconscious Mustard on the floor. He asks, what happened here? Tetsutetsu says, we were awesome, just like Class 1A, we defeated the villain. Kendo asks, why are you here, Kosei? Kosei says, oh yeah, I almost forgot. We need to help. Midoriya of Class 1A is organizing a full-front assault against the villains. He wants me to get as much help as I can before going back. Are you in? Tetsutetsu and Kendo look at each other for a moment, and Kendo says, yes, we're in. What do we need to do? Kosei, Tetsutetsu, and Kendo then run back where Kosei came from, going back to the small clearing. In a different part of the forest, Toga says, oh goody, new friends! I so want your blood. Toga charges at Uraka, who's protecting Tsuyu. Uraka reacts and pins Toga to the ground, and she says, you have some nice moves, Ochako. I see you're very determined here. Is it because you like someone? Uraka blushes and loses her composure. Toga uses the opportunity and frees herself. She grabs another knife and charges at Tsuyu, wanting to stab her. Toga says, come on, let's see some blood. You look really cute with it. Zero comes in through the forest, and seeing what is happening, he reacts, shooting tape and taking away the knife from Toga. Zero says, what exactly is going on here? Uraka says, Zero, get away! Toga turns to Zero and charges, using her syringe, wanting to draw some blood. Zero stumbles back as she charges at him, not really knowing what to do. She says, oh goody, a new friend! Let's see some of that blood! Tsuyu shoots out her tongue, grabbing onto Toga's arm. Toga looks surprised at Tsuyu and says, oh right, I can't neglect you guys. Toga cuts Tsuyu's tongue and charges at them. Uraka, having gained her composure, charges at Toga and says, we're done here. Toga reacts, grabbing her syringe and tries to stab Uraka. Uraka grabs Toga's arm and shirt, uses herself as a pivot, and throws Toga against a tree. Uraka says, Zero, now! Zero stutters for a moment since he doesn't know what Uraka wants him to do. Uraka says, use your tape, Zero! And he says, oh right! Zero then uses his tape to trap Toga against the tree. Toga tries to struggle out of the tape, and screams, let me out! I want more blood! Zero then hits Toga over the head, knocking her unconscious. He says, you've caused enough trouble. Uraka helps Tsuyu up and asks, are you okay, Tsuyu? Tsuyu can't stand on her own and needs Uraka to hold her, and she says, just a bit hurt. Can't stand too much, I think she cut one of my legs. Uraka turns to Zero and says, thank you. Thanks for helping out, but why are you here? Zero answers, oh right, Midoriya came up with this plan to defeat the villains. Uraka blushes a bit and says, Midoriya did? But why are you here? Zero says, I was supposed to go get help to fight them. Uraka asks, Tsuyu, do you think you can go? Tsuyu says no, but I think you should. Leave me here, I'll be fine. Go help. Uraka says, are you sure? Tsuyu says yes. Uraka finds an area where Tsuyu can hide enough, but also be safe, and puts her down gently there. Hiro and Zero then return to the clearing. The 3 Class B students arrive at the clearing. These are Tetsu, Kendo, and Kosei. After them, the next group to arrive is Uraka and Zero. Zero asks, where are the rest? Kendo says, we don't know, we just got here. Todoroki and the remedial students then come in running. Zero shouts, what's going on? Todoroki, while running, screams, he's after us! Kosei asks, who? A rumbling is heard in the woods as a giant starts making his way towards them. Zero says, oh crap. The students that were gathered start running as well. As they do, a small dim light shines from the inside the forest. Suddenly, out of the woods, something zooms past the students. Midoriya, who is wearing a new version of his suit, made by Yaoyorozu, zooms through the air, going for an attack against Gigantomachia. He screams. Midoriya smash hits Gigantomachia, making him stumble back. Todoroki asks, is that Midoriya? Baku says, you bet it is. Todoroki asks, how much power does he have? Midoriya lands on the ground after the attack and the students gather around him. Uraka says, that was amazing, Deku. And Midoriya blushes a bit. He then says, thanks, wasn't much. He grabs a small backpack type thing he had on him and pulls some stuff out. He says, this is for you guys. Midoriya pulls out the bag a couple gauntlets and hands them to Bakugo. The gauntlets are smaller than in the regular version, but still effective. Even more effective, in fact. As he sees them, a huge grin forms on Bakugo's face. He also grabs some binding cloth, a metal mask, and some other small items, handing them to Shinso. Midoriya grabs a backpack thermal regulator and gives it to Todoroki. He also grabs a couple bands and hands them to Uraka. Midoriya says, sorry, I didn't bring more. Yaoyorozu ran out of energy making these, and I didn't know who exactly was going to be here. I hoped that they would, but I wasn't sure about the rest. The students put on their support gear that Yaoyorozu had just made and get ready. Gigantomachia gets back up from the attack and comes striking at Midoriya. Midoriya jumps and yells, one for all, 80% full cow! He jumps back into the air, going at extreme speeds, and as Gigantomachia punches into the ground, his fist is met by Midoriya, creating a huge shockwave in the air. Midoriya starts falling towards the ground, and as Gigantomachia prepares for another attack, Bakugo, using his explosion, jumps into the air and blasts Giganto in the face, making him stumble. As Midoriya falls, he uses some support items in the suit. One for all, 90% Delaware Air Force smash! The air bullet hits Gigantomachia near the wound that Todoroki had previously made. Midoriya lands on the ground, and Todoroki freezes Gigantomachia's feet. Uraka then touches Midoriya, making him float, and using one for all, Midoriya rockets into the air. He yells, one for all, 100% ultimate smash! Midoriya hits Giganto in the face with so much force that he is thrown back and falls unconscious. Midoriya lands on the ground, and the group goes to praise him. Baku says, you alright, Deku? Last time you threw a smash like that, you broke your whole body. Midoriya says, I'm fine, thanks. I've learned to control it better. And the suit is made for me to be able to use more of my power without as many repercussions. It looks like the day is saved, but the forest then around them then starts vanishing, turning into dust. Shigaraki steps out of it and says, well, well, well. What do we have here? My worst enemies all gathered in one place. Shigaraki raises his hand at them and points at Midoriya and says, now it's time to die. Small extra information though, Midoriya's suit in this version of events is made with many things in mind. He had scribbled the designs before camp on a piece of paper and the atomic structure of the materials. Since it's one that ages slower, so Shigaraki's decay doesn't work as well. The suit is specifically made to be able to use more percentages of One For All without hurting himself. It also acts as a cast if he were to break his arm. It is based on research and technology developed by Melissa Shield. However, the suit does have some limited durability. Anyway, thank you all for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Also, thanks to We the Celestials team and James himself for allowing me to do this video. And thanks to the editor for editing it. I hope you all enjoyed, and again want to ask you to like and subscribe. As always, if you have any suggestions, feel free to leave them in the comments below or my Discord server. Until next time, have a nice day everyone,